All right. Good morning, everybody. I hope you all can hear me fine. Welcome to the second episode of LA-DFW's Smart Money Talks. We try and do this every quarter. Once again, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the whichever region that you are in. Thanks for joining. And the theme, let me kind of get into the uh, introduction for LA-DFW. So once again, welcome everybody. The LA-DFW is the Lohana Association of Dallas-Fort Worth. And like I mentioned, we do this Smart Money Talks every quarter where we try and bring in a guest. We educate our community on different various aspects of investing, personal financing, savings, budgeting, retirement planning, what have you, everything money. Uh, my name is Pranav Shingala, as you can see, and I am part of LA-DFW since the beginning, founding committee since 2022. So let's get into the agenda real quick. As to we have a packed agenda for next 1 hour. You'll hear a lot of things, and this will be in a kind of an interesting live Q&A or live discussion. So first we'll go through the introduction about the LA-DFW as well as the introduction of our guest, which will happen as soon as the next slide. As part of today's discussion, we're going to cover a few things like retirement risks, retirement income, life insurance with living benefits, which is also called 1035 exchange, estate planning with will and trust, and then eventually we'll leave about 10 to 15 minutes for live Q&A. So hang in there. We will have our live chat going. We will be able to bring your questions on the screen. So, keep your live chats running on whether you are joining us on Facebook or YouTube. So once again, thanks for joining. As part of the introduction, once again, my name is Pranav Shingala. I'm part of the LA-DFW since 2022. What is LA-DFW? The Lohana Association of Dallas-Fort Worth. The Lohana Association is primarily looking at the expansion in terms of bring the cultural awareness, preserve the heritage of our organization or of our community, assimilate the values and the principles of what Lohanas are and what we do, and what our family values and community values are. As part of that, we kind of bring in the financial aspect of it. We do a lot of other events, whether you have it Diwali, Navratri, picnics, summer events, fall events, spring events. So constantly, so if you are not part of LA-DFW, please make sure to join us. And once again, I mean, Lohana Association of Dallas-Fort Worth, I want to kind of mention a few names who have been part of this. Our president is Mr. Birju Thakkar. Our chairman is Mr. Bhupendra Bhai Thakkar. Again, great leadership. The other folks who are part of the organization are Ketul Bhai Thakkar, Ravi Bhai Thakkar, Trupti Ben Thakkar, who is Mayur Bhai's wife, and part of the organization since beginning. So has been kind of very instrumental in the day-to-day functions of the organization, as well as planning all the events and activities for everybody. So we are very, very excited for the future in terms of what we are going to do, as well as, like I said, Smart Money Talks is something that we do every quarter. If you have feedback, questions, comments, please drop in. A quick note about myself. Like I said, I'm Pranav Shingala, and I am by professional an investment advisor as well. The reason I'm mentioning that is because of purely for a disclaimer reason that we are doing this purely for the educational purposes. We are not, I'm not compensated for anything, as well as we are not soliciting any business out of this. This Smart Money Talks is purely meant for educational purposes. My profession, my license, kind of makes it mandatory for me to mention that as a disclaimer, because outside of my profession, outside of my business, anytime I do these kind of activities, I should not be compensated for that. So I want to kind of highlight that I'm not. We are not trying to sell any products. This is purely for the education of the society. Let's keep going. So that was about Lohana Association of Dallas-Fort Worth. One other name, I'm sure I'm missing a lot of different names as part of the culture and the community and the association. The other prominent name that comes to mind is Satish Bhai Vitlani. He has been really, really supportive of how this community is growing, how the organization is growing, not only in the DFW but across the United States. So again, great thanks to him, LIBF and everything that he has been kind of chairing and leading. So if any names I've forgotten who has been part of the LA-DFW committee, again, apologize, but I just wanted to highlight some of the core people and some of the prominent people who have been kind of very active in the organization. All right, without further ado, let me introduce our guest for today. Our guest is Mr. Birju Thakkar. Let me bring his profile up here. And one second, let me. Mr. Birju Thakkar is our guest speaker today. He'll be talking about insurance and the annuities as the financial planning tool. Mr. Birju Thakkar comes with 25 years of experience in the industry. He's licensed in about 16 states and counting. I'm sure he's going to cover more and more ground as we go forward, and we will look into all the expertise. He's going to share about all the expertise into 1035 exchanges, which is the life insurance with living benefits, principal protection, the educational fund expertise, and the tax-free retirements. So we looked at the agenda. We have a packed agenda. We'll try to keep it within our time limits, and we'll try to wrap up by 10:50, 10:45 Central Time, so that there is about another 10-15 minutes left for the Q&A, and we will go from there. So without further ado, let me bring in Mr. Birju Thakkar, and we'll kick off the conversation from there. Give me one quick second. Mr. Birju Thakkar, can you hear me okay? And
Yes, absolutely.
welcome in. Good morning, and thanks for taking the time out to spend that 1 hour with our community. Welcome in, and the stage is all yours, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pranav, for that kind words for introducing me. I want to start with thanking all the important persons. So first of all, thank you to all the committee members of LA-DFW who gave me this opportunity to be in front of this amazing audience and amazing members. Uh, Special thanks to Mayur Bhai for giving me this opportunity, letting me know that this organization is doing this wonderful activities and making me a part of this LADFW. And yeah, so thank you all the attendees who are like sharing their Saturday morning hour time with us. Welcome all of you, and I would like to start with wishing you all a happy Ganesh Chaturthi. It's a very significant day for all of us, especially all Lohanas. We so much believe in Ganesh ji. So yeah, happy Ganesh Chaturthi to all. Um, with that, as Pranav bhai said, we have a very strong, very tight agenda, and we have so many things to cover. So let me start with my presentation. Feel free whenever in any slide you have any questions, please type in the chat box, and as Pranav bhai said, we will answer. We will try to answer as many questions in the end of the presentation. For the last 15 minutes, we have for Q&A. Uh, so let me share my screen. No, wait, can you confirm you can see my screen?
Yes, sir. It's coming up. I'm bringing that up right now. It should be on the screen for everybody to see.
Confirm when you can see my first slide of disclaimer.
I see the disclaimer side. Yes, sir.
Perfect, perfect. So even Pranav bhai also did his disclaimer. I would like to start with my disclaimer because we are in a highly regulated and compliant industry we are working with. So this today's session is purely for educational and conceptual session. Nothing, no solicitation, and you need to sit with the licensed professionals for one-on-one discussion for your particular case. So with that, let me start what I have to share. So I would like to start with two very important questions. How many of you would like to be stay invested in equity markets completely, even after age of 65, or even after your retirement? So that's very key question you should be asking yourself. And if you would like to provide the answer in the chat box, that's greatly appreciated. And the second key question, So do you have something that's predictable for the unpredictable future we are in? Right. So these are the like starting point of anyone's retirement plan. Um, so most of whenever I discuss, I have like done couple of seminars and webinars and in person uh, like sessions. Whenever I ask about the retirement planning, the most of the time I get answer is the assets. uh, so the success of the retirement depends on the assets. That's what the answer I get. But that's a partial truth. So yes, but because the assets can be lost, stolen, swindled, skewed, divorced, or decimated in a market crash, right? Anytime. So the real success depends on the answer of these two questions. Again, I'm like doing a lot of question Q&A, but these are like very crucial questions you should be asking yourself, and see what you have planned for your retirement. So the number one is, how much guaranteed lifetime income do you have? So I'll repeat all the three keywords in this question. How much guaranteed? So the number one keyword is guaranteed, and the number two keyword is lifetime. So the income which is guaranteed for your lifetime. Do you have anything planned for that? Because most of the people in US or Canada, they plan with their employer's retirement account, which is 401k, but that accumulates the account value, but there is no guaranteed lifetime income with that particular account. So have you planned anything for that? And the second question, which is again very important, have you taken off the key retirement risks off the table? So to start with, what are the key retirement risks? Let's first check what are the retirement risks you should be like taking off the table before you retire. So the number one is longevity risk, deflation risk, market risk, withdrawal rate risk, how much withdrawal percentage is optimal, sequence of returns risk, especially in the initial few years of your retirement. If your portfolio is giving you negative returns, it could harm the your retirement nest egg with big time. Then long-term care risk, mortality risk, inflation risk, regulatory risk, taxation risk. So there are like so many risks which you have to take care of in your retirement, or I would suggest before you enter in your retirement phase, right? So how can you mitigate all these risks? And what is the number one risk out of all these risks? If anyone would like to answer, please answer in the chat box. Um, yeah. So the number one retirement risk, according to me, is longevity risk, because it's not just a risk; it's a risk multiplier. The longer you live, all the other risk, deflation risk, inflation risk, long-term care risk, market risk, all that is going to be multiplied. The more you live, you have more chances of all those risks. So I call it as a risk multiplier. But so now the key question is how you can mitigate this longevity risk. Is there any way we can mitigate the longevity risk? And the answer is the guaranteed income for the life. That's the answer. Now, how can you, the next question would be, how can you get that guaranteed lifetime income? What are the sources with which you can mitigate this risk? So that is in the next slide. The sources of guaranteed income during your retirement, there are three sources. Number one and the biggest would be Social Security. Number two would be pensions. And number three is annuities. Now, what is Social Security? So basically, a Social Security is a form of lifetime annuity, which you are getting from the government. But we all know how that Social Security funds are managed, and we read all the articles which are like little bit scary, that by the time we retire, let's say we are in 40s and our retirement is like 15, 20 years away. We don't know how much benefits we will be getting from that Social Security uh, program, right? The second one is the pension. So right now, as of today, less than 5% of the employers would be offering the pension. So pensions are a thing of past now for most of the people online, right? And then the third and most important part would be annuities. So annuities is a vehicle or an instrument you can use to get guaranteed income for the life, right? So now, what accounts you can buy the annuities with, right? So there are like multiple accounts you can roll over, like your IRAs, your 401ks, your SEP IRAs, 403bs if you are government employee. Also, you can buy it with non-qualified money sitting in your bank account that is considered as non-qualified. You can buy with any source of fund the annuities which I was talking about. And particularly the fixed indexed annuity comes with like two major benefits. It has a 0% floor. So in any market condition, in any market volatility, whenever market is below 0%, let's say it's down by 20%, 30%, 40%, you never ever lose a penny. So your principal, your hard-earned retirement nest egg is protected all the time in any of the market conditions. And it also has another big benefit. It comes with 10 to 40% of upfront bonus. So depending on how which companies, which product you are going into, buying which product, that depends. It depends on that product how much upfront bonus they are offering. And we all know right now we are in the high interest rate environment. Uh, we haven't seen this kind of interest rates in last 20 years. So that's the good news for anyone who is planning to buy or roll over their existing accounts into annuity. Because
All
annuities
right.
are, yeah,
Go ahead, Mr. Tucker. I was just going to, yes.
yeah. So the annuity rates are like directly like adjusted or directly linked with the interest rate, which is in the right now we are, as I said, we are in the highest interest rate scenario since last 20 years. So this upfront bonus is never used to be that high, but because of this high interest rate currently we are seeing, that's the reason for this high upfront bonuses. But this is not going to be the same forever. So as soon as the Fed starts cutting the interest rates, this all may adjust little bit. So it's very like right time right now to just roll over a portion of your portfolio. We never advise anyone to get invested in one strategy with all their all the eggs should not be in the one basket, right? So you can definitely start with rolling over a certain portion or certain percentage of your overall portfolio into this kind of strategy where you never ever have any market downside and you get matching upfront bonus.
Great.
Yeah, so I'm yes,
I was
Pranav,
just
I'm done with the first topic of
I was going to
as
jump
for
in,
today.
right? Yeah. Yeah, I was going to jump in. I know the first section that you just highlighted, it's on. I want to summarize a little bit, which is the risks that are involved in planning the retirement. That, like you highlighted very rightly, that interest rate fluctuations would impact all of your retirement nest egg over a period of time. So what you want is, what you want is some sort of an assurance that with the insurance rates going up or down, or even tax rates going up and down. I mean, we know that with the election year, with the presidential elections coming this year, a lot of tax discussion in the point in the kind of picture right now, and that has an impact on your nest egg. So great points in terms of how to kind of save for the retirement, and also kind of keep it together, right? Keep it together in terms of like not lose along with the market, because market I want to say in 2022 it crashed about 20%. Now here in the annuities, what you're saying is that there's a chance that your nest egg of the retirement can stay at 0% floor. So at least if you have saved $500,000 or whatever that amount is, it doesn't go below that $500,000. If you lose 20% in the market, then you're down by 100,000. That's like 400,000. So, uh, so that's a great point. Appreciate the, so first section, wrap up. One quick question: are there any, for our viewers, are there any reading materials, any books you would recommend, or anything that you would recommend that they, when they go away from after this stream and the presentation, can they kind of refer to anything? So, are there any books that you would recommend?
Absolutely. Very, very good point. And thank you for summarizing so well, Pranav bhai. Yeah, so we are in the information age right now, right? So we have like tons of material on every topic. Same way we have like tons of material on retirement planning and retirement optimization and reduce the tax liability in the retirement years. So there are like so many books, and I'm like, so my designation, one of the designation I have is RICP. I'm Retirement Income Certified Planner, right? So I am passionate about reading and getting more and more information regarding the how one can get the best out of their retirement. So yes, I would definitely share some of the books which are my favorite, which anyone can read and they can buy online. So these are the few books and few authors whom I follow like very regularly. So the number one book is Paychecks and Playchecks by Tom Hegna. Tom Hegna is considered as like a kind of authority in the retirement planning space. Just this one author, Tom Hegna, has written more than 6 books on retirement planning, and I have read all of his books. But number one bestseller of out of his 6 books is Paychecks and Playchecks. Then the second one is second favorite would be Patrick Kelly's Tax-Free Retirement. Again, it's a best one of the bestseller. And the number three book I would recommend would be The Power of Zero by David McKnight. So all these books are available on Amazon. You can buy. It's available on Audible as well. So if you are not a reader, but if you are a good listener, definitely you can get it on Audible as well, right? And I would like to share the summary of this book, which is like my all-time favorite, Paychecks and Playchecks by Tom Hegna. Uh, so I'll just summarize for you in just one slide the entire crux of the book in my next slide. So as I mentioned, Tom Hegna is considered like authority in the retirement planning space. He simplified entire retirement planning into 4 simple steps. So the number one step: cover your living expenses with guaranteed income, which I already showed you what are the sources of guaranteed income. And if you think your pension and your social security is not enough to cover your living expenses in retirement, definitely you can add that third piece of guaranteed retirement income with annuity. The second one is optimize your portfolio to protect against inflation. Because what happens after 65, most of the retirees become so conservative that they don't want to like have any kind of exposure to the stock market, or they would like to minimize their exposure, and they shift most of their assets into the fixed instruments like CDs or bonds, which are like most of the time not even beating the inflation, right? So they are looking for safety, but they are sacrificing in terms of the growth. Versus the fixed indexed annuity, which I showed, can give you the best of both the worlds. It gives you the protection like your CDs, like there is no market downside, but it doesn't give it. It also gives you growth, little bit higher than the inflation and taxes. So that's the optimal way to plan for your retirement portfolio, right? So and third and fourth topic which he is mentioning, third and fourth steps are can be covered with life insurance. So I already covered the first 2 points with my previous slides on retirement planning. The third is what he says is have a plan for long term care, because long term care, that single risk can like wipe out your it has like potential to wipe out your major portion of your retirement nest egg. So how you can mitigate that, I'll cover in my next few slides. And the fourth step, what he suggests, is the most efficient way to transfer your wealth to the next generation, your legacy transfer. You should be using life insurance. That's what his like summary of his book. So let me show you how you can mitigate or how you can plan for this third step. So long-term care is nothing but a kind of disability. So out of your 6 daily living activities, if you are not able to perform two, you are like considered as in disabled. And there are two types of disability: short-term and long-term. So short-term and long-term both are covered by your employer most of the times, if you are doing job. But it covers only 60% of your salary. And imagine what happens if you are if you become disabled after your retirement, or in your retirement years. Now you are not having that employer coverage for the disability, and now you are left with only your personal savings to take care of your long term care needs, right? And let me show you the statistics. So one in 368 houses catch fire in United States. So it's a very like low probability. One in the 43 cars get to an accident. So that's the statistics, right? But one in a 10%, one in 10 chances of anyone needing the long term care in their retirement years, right? So you can see here how high the probability of you needing the long term care in your retirement years. And unfortunately, most people don't plan for that, either because of not having enough awareness or not taking the right steps. So there are nowadays the life insurance policies come with something called living benefits. So traditional life insurance policies used to give the claim to the beneficiary only at the time of the death. So it comes with only death benefit. But now we are in the 21st century, and like our phones, the life insurance policies are also smart policies nowadays. So after 2016, this life insurance policies get introduced with something called living benefits. So you get death benefit as well as living benefits. So the three major kind of illnesses are covered with these living benefits, which I'll cover in the next slide. But this is the life insurance that you don't have to die to use, right? So, and the good news is all these riders in these life insurance policies are by default. You are not paying a single extra dollar for the premium for that riders, right? So let me like show you what these living benefits are. So the first one is chronic illness. They cover chronic illness, which is a form of disability. So out of your 6 daily living activities, if you are not able to perform any two of those, you qualify for the claim of chronic illness. Then the second one is critical illness. Any critical illness like major heart attack, bypass, stroke, end stage renal failure, paralysis, all these are covered in this category called critical illness. And there is the third one, terminal illness, where if the physician gives in writing that this patient would not survive beyond 24 months in most of the states, uh, the life insurance policy accelerates from the death benefit and provides the claim. So all these three, uh, depending on the uh, how significant or how impactful that illness is, uh, somewhere from 25% to 90% of your life insurance amount or death benefit amount is accelerated and given to the insured while they are still living, right? So that's an amazing way to plan your life insurance policy. uh, it comes with living benefits. And I would like to share a short story of, like, this is real time story I'm sharing. One of the person had a old life insurance policy. I reviewed the policy, and I did. So there is a code, IRS code called 1035 exchange, where you can convert your old policy, which are not having that living benefits and all that, because it was in, as I said, this living benefits got introduced after 2016. So let's say you are already owning a policy before that, you don't have to worry, because with this provision of 1035 exchange with IRS code, you can convert or transfer your old policy into the new. So for this gentleman, he was having 500,000 old policy. I converted it with 1035 exchange into my new policy, the carrier which I was working with, and in just 2 years after like conversion, that person got a claim for the living benefit, and he was paid $593,000 check upfront while he's still living, and he doesn't have to he can use this money for his own like treatment or for taking care of the family or whatever he wants to use the funds for, right? So this is like the impact we are creating, or adding value to the client's family, right? So the next big question: do you want to use your retirement nest egg to pay your long-term care or medical expenses, or you would like it to be paid by your life insurance policy? If you can reply that in the chat box, I would highly appreciate. Thank you. And yeah, so let me educate you about the life insurance policies in United States, right? So basically, there are two major categories: temporary and permanent. So temporary comes with 10, 20, 30, and maximum up to 35 years of coverage, which is called a term plan. And this 35 years is provided only with one carrier. Um, but for that, you should be having age below 45, 45.5 to be precise. Uh, and this all term plan also comes with living benefits, which I already mentioned, covered critical, chronicle, and terminal at no additional cost. And the good thing is, you can convert this temporary policy or term plan into the permanent at any time. So now let me educate about what are the type of permanent policies. So number one, or uh, like the 60s or 70s, the first permanent policy was introduced was whole life. But we always say that W is missing in the whole life, and I'll come to that, why I'm saying that in my next couple of slides. Then came the universal life. The premiums were so low in the universal life that after a few years, policies started lapsing. Then the third innovation in the life insurance industry came up with variable universal life, but it's again linked to the direct stock market performance. So your portfolio could go up, could go down, depending on the market fluctuation, and you can lose also in your principal. And then came the indexed universal life around 1997, which comes with zero floor. The concept which I shared in the annuities section, it comes with that same investment strategy: 0% floor and around 13% cap. So whenever the market is below zero, the client doesn't lose anything, and in the positive years, the cap is 13%, right? And this IUL also comes with living benefits. So that's the main thing, or the main highlight of this IUL policy, right? And again, I already shared how you can do that is with IRS code 1035. And all of this permanent life insurance policies you own previously, the good news is you can convert that to IUL with this IRS code 1035. So this is again one more like real time story. One of my client shared me his statement. He bought this policy in 2002. This is whole life policy. He bought this in 2002, and in 2018, when I was reviewing that, he has a cash value of close to $1 million, but his death benefit, original death benefit, was 3 million, and still after like 16 years, the death benefit was still 3 million. Although the cash value is 1 million, but that is so when I got into a discussion with the client was under the impression that if something happens to him, his family will get 3 million plus the cash value. Then I asked him to call his carrier and check with his carrier, is that the case? And their carrier replied, if something happens to you tomorrow, only death benefit goes to your beneficiary and not the cash value. That's the reason I was saying that whole life policies W is missing. So these policies are so much like outdated, like this Nokia phone. We all started our uh, cell phone journey with this phone. It was great at that time. I'm not saying that you picked the wrong phone or wrong policy, but that was one of the best option available at that time. But now, as we review all other areas of our life, we should be reviewing our policies. Are they optimally performing? Are they having the best features of the latest times? So the benefits of transferring your policy with 1035 exchange, uh, I would say there are four major benefits. Your death benefit significantly increases. When I convert this policy, which I showed you in the previous slide, from day one, that person's death benefit increased to 4.7 million, keeping all the premiums and everything safe. So basically, his 3 million plus $1 million of cash value also got added into his death benefit. And plus, there was some additional death benefit added because of the more efficient policy, right? So now the cash value belongs to you. So there is no more hole in your policy. You can structure, you can design policy according to your convenience. You can choose like 5 years, 10 years, 15 years of premium paying versus the whole life, which are like you have to pay the premium for the whole life. So these policies are having like so much flexibility. You can choose how long you want to pay. And the fourth and the most important benefit of transferring is this: I will come with living benefits. You don't have to die to use your death benefit. You can use it while you are still living. So that's the end of the second topic for today, Pranav.
Yes, sir. No, very, very insightful. Thanks for covering the life insurance part with various benefits that it has. I mean, even if we just go by the four that you are outlining on the screen, four bullet points, in my summary, what I'm understanding is that if you have a life insurance policy that you took years ago, let's say 10, 15 years ago, and then you forgot about it because the thought process is that, oh, I'm covered and that's my policy, that's all I need to worry about. Like you had that example of like 3 million coverage, and that person did not realize that the same can be used in multiple different ways, because now the industry is going through transformation. The products keep getting invented on a daily basis. So it's always prudent to kind of just consult with somebody who is an expert to have a review of your policies and be like, hey, am I adequately covered? Am I taking all the benefits of the industry? Am I taking the benefits of the IRS code, that what it allows me? Because you know when I speak with a lot of my clients, I mean, insurance policies also can be used as a collateral. So there's just so many different things that you can do, which you might not be aware of, which comes into play, like Mr. Birju Thakkar, that you just rightly alluded to. So I think very insightful. Thank you so much. And then I think if you want to talk more about it, please go ahead. And otherwise, I think my understanding is next we are talking about estate planning with will and trust. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. That's
So
the last topic for today's session. Uh, yeah. So in most of the time, people are not again aware about the how important is estate planning for your family. So if you haven't planned or defined all the beneficiaries or whom your assets should be going, uh, the laws are very different in United States. So um, the we help our clients with awareness about how this is important, especially uh, for the young couples who have a minor child below 18 years, and if you have not done your will and trust and not defined the legal guardians, if something happens to both the parents, and if they have not defined, the state takes the custody, which is a very scary thing. Even if you have your brother, sister, other sibling, or your parents, or the state would not allow to take custody of your kids with to them if you have not defined it properly in your will and trust. So will and trust is a very important document. It's a like the number one piece of financial plan, I would say, and everyone, in my opinion, needs will and trust. So the pack we have a comprehensive will and trust package. It includes 6 documents for both the spouse. So there's 6 documents for husband and 6 documents for wife if you are married, right? So let me quickly briefly show you or explain you what these documents are. So the number one document is will, which, as I said, that includes the trust for the children and even the grandchildren if someone want to plan that. So in the will, you define whom your asset should be going after you're gone. The second important document is probate avoidance revocable living trust. So for especially for all your physical assets like your investment home, your primary residence, your other rental properties, if you have not created a revocable living trust, there are chances that it after you are gone, there will be a probate court proceeding, and your family has to wait for uh, somewhere from 6 months to 2 years in certain cases, and they have to spend a lot of cost upfront to get all in their name if you have not made your revocable living trust. The third important document is your financial power of attorney. So let's say you are still alive, but you are not having some kind of medical condition where you are not able to take your own decision. Who will take the financial decision on behalf of you? So you can define all that in this power of attorney. And the good thing is, in all these documents, you can have multiple names. So let's say the first uh, uh, person taking care of would be your spouse after you are not around. But let's say if something happens to him or her also, there are multiple family members or friends whom you trust. You can add their names, and you can change that names anytime during your lifetime. Then the next 3 documents are health related documents. So let's say if something of like something happens to you where you are in coma, or you are on the uh, support system, on the ventilator or something like that, who will take the decision that how long that uh, uh, plug would not be taken off? So that all decisions, you can define the person. Then there is the fifth document called medical power of attorney. Just like our financial power of attorney, there is a medical power of attorney which you can assign to whom you want. And the sixth one is HIPAA authorization. Whom you trust, you want to uh, share your medical conditions. The doctors and the hospital would be sharing with who what family members or what your friends you trust. You can name them where they can share that information. So all these 6 documents for both the spouse are covered in this comprehensive package, and we help our clients with uh, this kind of services and solutions day and night, right? So I'm not soliciting anything right now, but if you have not planned, and if you want to plan something for your family, this is a great way to start. And if you go and get this done outside, from the attorney office may charge somewhere from $2,000 to $3,000 for this 6 documents, versus the plan which we offer is kind of an online template. And as soon as you enter your address, we have templates for all 50 states, and you can, as soon as you enter the your address, that particular state's templates open up. So you are always updated with the current templates of the state, right? So as a gesture of like giving back to the community, I would like to offer a special discount to LA-DFW members if they want to plan this premium estate planning package. Uh, Pranav bhai will share a code.
Should be
Uh,
on the screen. It's relaying on the screen right now, which is LADFW 2024. Uh, Mr. Birju Thakkar's contact detail is also on there. Just scan the QR code, connect with him, and use this code. He would be able to, help you out if you have retirement needs, estate planning needs, and any life insurance related questions. He is deeply, deeply involved in our community. He helps out every single individual. Uh, I have never had to worry about what he charges, so that's something that you know I'm not kind of concerned about much. Plus, over and above, I mean, he is also offering some discounts. So, thank you so much, Mr. Birju Thakkar, for that. Before we kind of jump into Q&A, are there any other comments from your side, Mr. Birju? I'll keep the code up here for a little bit for people to kind of, and your name as well, before we head into the this thing. And let me stop your screen if that's okay, Mr. Birju Thakkar.
yes, please. Yes.
Okay. All right. Sounds
Once
good.
again, thank you all for sharing your valuable time with me, and hope I could bring some value to your time.
Absolutely, absolutely. So once again, thank you, Birju Thakkar. Amazing, amazing information on retirement, life insurance, and estate planning as to kind of will and trust, etc. Right. Let's jump right into some of the questions. One quick note for everybody, in whether you are joining us from YouTube or Facebook, you should be able to ask us questions in the chat, and I'll be able to pull it up here on the screen. So let's go one by one, Mr. Tucker, if you don't mind, and I'll pull up
Yes,
some of the
please.
questions that I'm seeing. And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but if you don't have the answer, we can always get back to those later. So let's
No, no, I
bring
would
up
love
first.
to answer as many questions I
Yes, sir.
can. Yes.
Yes, sir. So the first question is around the expense ratios on the annuities, and how long the money should be locked in, etc. So if you can kind of shed more light on that, please.
Sure, sure. Yeah. So typically, there is like lot of misunderstanding about the annuity product, particularly, and there are so many myths. So to start with the expense ratio, so annuity is just like a bank CD kind of product. So the provider keeps their margin and they offer the net rate to the client. So annuity is like a zero charge product. Only you pay if you are in with some of the carriers, if you are buying that guaranteed income rider, they charge. Not all the carriers. Some of the annuity carrier have a charge for that rider. But apart from that, the like annuity itself is a zero charge product.
Understood. Thank you. Let's keep going to the next question in line. What we have
Oh, sorry,
is
I missed the second part of that
oh,
question.
go ahead. Yeah,
That
let
how
me pull
long
that
is the
up.
money locked?
Yes.
So that also again depends on which product, which carrier you are going with. But the
Mm-hmm.
general time frame is somewhere from 7 to 15 years. They have surrender charges from 7 to 15 years.
Uh-huh.
But again, that uh, all that products have some kind of partial withdrawal without any charge,
I
without
see.
any penalties, right? So we can talk one on one whenever you want to like design for yourself or your family.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. So, great insight on that expense ratio as well as how long it is logged. Let's move on to the next question. What we have is: are the earnings in the annuity, when the earnings start coming in, are they taxable?
So that is again very good question. So that taxation part always depends on with which source of fund you bought that annuity. So let's say there are three sources with which we can buy the annuity. Number one is our 401ks or IRAs, traditional 401k or traditional IRA. In that case, everything would be taxed, principal as well as growth, because you already took the deductions at the time of contribution. The second source would be your Roth accounts, any Roth IRAs, Roth 401ks. If you are buying the annuity with Roth account, there will be no tax on any of the amount coming out. And then the third source would be non-qualified, which is your bank money. So for non-qualified funds, the tax would be only on the growth portion and not on the principal, because that is already after tax dollars you are buying.
Understood. Interesting. Thanks for that. Let's bring up next question. How to choose the insurance company for the annuity? Some pay 10% bonus, some pay other amounts, and like you said, 10 to 40%. But if I remember correctly, it's also interest rate sensitive. But I'll let you answer that question. And so, how to choose the insurance company based off of that?
Again, it looks like Lohana community is very smart on in terms of money. Yep, all nice questions. So yes, uh, it, so the generally whenever I'm working with a client, I do a financial need analysis of that client before suggesting any solution. So it's there could be like case where 40% bonus would not be suitable or not like in sync with the client's need. I would rather give him 10% bonus solution. So it all depends on how what kind of. So there are three major categories of annuities. uh, Number one is accumulation focus. So for the younger people whose aim is just the maximum growth, maximum accumulation, I would suggest that 10 or 15% kind of bonus products, which are mostly accumulation focused. Then the second category would be income focused. Anyone in their pre-retirement age, and they are looking to take out the lifetime guaranteed income in next couple of years. uh, that kind of solutions offer 30 to 40% bonuses with different carriers. So in that kind of profile, I would go with those income focused annuities. And the third one is legacy transfer. There are some high profile clients who have accumulated so much wealth in their earning years, and now they want to maximize how much they can transfer their wealth to the next generation. Again, of course, as I suggested, life insurance is the most efficient way. But even after that, someone has tons of money sitting in their 401ks or their IRAs, and how the optimally they can transfer that to the next generation. Those are legacy transfer focused annuities. Again, there are different percentage of bonuses with that product. So it all depends. I would first understand what client is actually looking for, and then
Yes.
accordingly I would go for the solution.
Case by case. All right, we got about 3 to 4 minutes left, and we got two questions. If we are able to get to it, well and
Sure.
good. You can hit them with like 30 seconds thing. Let me
Sure.
bring up the next question, which is: does all life insurance company have living benefits rider? I think it means within the life insurance policy. Do they all have it, or you have to ask for it? How does it work?
So no, very few carriers offer that, and
Okay,
especially as I mentioned, IUL policies. Most of the time, IUL carriers offer those kind of benefits. But
sure.
again, you have to check from carrier to carrier.
Understood. All right. Thanks for that quick one. So, be careful. You want to ask for it that, if you want the life living benefit rider, which is 1035, then it depends on carrier to carrier. Ask your agent about it. Or of course, Mr. Birju Thakkar is always there to help. All right. Last question so far. If we still have anything coming up, we'll try and squeeze that in. Should you transfer the bank or the stockbroker account to a revocable trust, even though you have a beneficiary named on each of these accounts?
Again, very intelligent question. So the answer is no. The benefit. So in the good part about the financial accounts, we have the option to nominate or define the beneficiaries straight there. So for those accounts, if you don't include that in your will and trust, it's all good. If you have properly defined the beneficiaries on in all your accounts, it's more than sufficient.
Understood. Excellent.
Only for
Thank
the
you.
physical assets, the real estate, you need to
Understood.
go
So
through
if
that
you have a
living trust. Yeah,
Understood. So if you have the real estate, which is your house or shops or office space or something like that, for that you might need a trust. Or if you have a business interest, maybe for that.
correct.
But bank accounts and stocks where you are able to define a beneficiary, no need to worry about it.
Absolutely, you got it.
Excellent. Well, we have about 2 minutes left, so I want to kind of leave a time for you to kind of give your final comments. And, so once again, let me stop the screen here and get the questions out of that. And now over to you, Mr. Birju Thakkar, before we kind of give a wrap up in last 30 seconds to 1 minute.
Right, right. Yeah, so as I mentioned, I'm working in this industry more than 25 years now. I'm so much passionate about this. So for me, the more and more families I help with for their families' protection, for the basically I can help with all the phases of your life, like accumulation, protection, and then the transfer of assets in your retirement. So all those phases I can help with, and I would love to do that for our Lohana community. And I would like to be like taking few more different topics in coming sessions. If I'm invited,
Of
definitely I would
course,
love to help
you
LADFW.
You are more than invited. You are more than welcome to come in anytime and every time you have time. You are a busy man. You travel a lot. It's hard to get you, but thank you so much for spending this 1 hour with us. I know we are right on the 1 hour right now, but Mr. Birju Thakkar's contact details are on the screen. Phone number, email, scan it, and also I'm putting in the code, the discount code that he has graciously accepted, that anybody connecting from Lohana Association of DFW, Mr. Thakkar will provide a good discount. He'll take care of you. So with that, I mean, Mr. Birju Thakkar, is there anything else that you would like to mention before we kind of wrap it up?
Yes, so again, a big thanks to all the members and non-members who attended today's session for your valuable time, and thank you so much, Pranav bhai, for like summarizing my topics today, and like exactly we are on time for everything. We covered all the topics, and we are not over
Yes.
going over the time. So thank you for that,
Yes,
and
sir.
thanks to LADFW. Yes.
Yes, sir. So thanks everybody who joined today, and thank you for everybody who this stream will continue to be on YouTube as well as on Facebook. The contact detail will be on there. Once again, I would like to thank you everybody, and I also would like to thank Lohana Association of DFW for providing this platform, not only to me to host this, because I feel this is a complete privilege that I get to meet with somebody like Mr. Birju Thakkar. I have in the past I've interviewed Mr. Neil Tucker, and I'll get to kind of meet with all of these individuals, bring their expertise in front of the audience, and help everybody out here. Uh, Thank you so much, and we will see you. I'm trying to get this done every month. Hopefully, I'll have another guest in October. But once again, thank you everybody who spent time with us today for this 1 hour. We tried not going over the time. We are much well within the time. So, thanks again, Mr. Birju Thakkar. Appreciate your time.